But to you, Colonel, on this, we just got this from the Prime Minister's Office of Israel saying that they have received the list of abductees who are to be released tomorrow. And the president earlier, about 2 hours ago, saying that they were unaware of that list being released. And of course, this being the crucial point, tends to be the last step that we're aware of, at least in news, for the day's release to happen and for things to work without any hiccups. And what I'll keep on reading here, Colonel, that says here, the security officials are checking the list on behalf of the person in charge of the abductees and the missing. They are asking that they give the families of the abductees that the media act with required caution for various reasons that you both understand so well. And Colonel, so it looks like tomorrow, as of this hour, is going to happen again because we have that list. And now they'll go through the list, at least on the Israeli side, to see who they are and then prepare for them. This shows that fragility of the day-to-day of the deal.
Yeah, and if you were a betting person, you would probably bet that there are few Americans, if any Americans, on that list. And the psychology of the whole thing is that Hamas wants to keep the United States to continue pressure on Israel as long as it possibly can. And the way to do that is to make sure that, to the extent that there are any Americans to be released, they are not released. The fewer Americans who are released, the more the United States is going to pressure Israel to continue the ceasefire, to continue the negotiations, which, of course, as we mentioned earlier, works to the tactical military advantage of Hamas. So it'll be interesting to see how many, if any, Americans are on that list and how long it will take for Hamas to release all of the Americans, Richard.
In the course of the 4 days. And we might remind people, too, here, Colonel, that this list is given both ways. So the IDF will, at least from what we understand the deal, put together a list of who they will release potentially for tomorrow as well. And why is that important? Remind us, Colonel, why these lists must go both ways and why both sides, if they don't get it, they're saying, well, hold on a second, we're not going to go through with the deal then.
Well, the structure of the deal is fairly clear-cut. The mechanism is fairly clear-cut. And the logistics of the actual transfer, they've already been established and they've been used already, and they're clear-cut too. The only thing that's important that remains that's flexible is who is going to be released. Until it can be verified that those people exist, that they are alive and they're going to be released, and from the other side, that these are the people whom Hamas would like to see released from prison. Unless there's agreement on that bit, there is no agreement. So it remains to be seen whether or not whatever is going to happen is going to actually happen tomorrow, and that'll be wholly a function of the agreement on who is on the lists.